This is what I did see though. I kind of wanted to speak on this because Kamala Harris is allegedly got caught wearing a $62,000 necklace. This is more money than majority of Americans make in a year. While asking people to donate. This image has been surfacing on social media. What do I think? Well, since I've been following this political campaign and everything, I just want to bring this back up to light, which is just a small little, like less than 10-minute debate. But this is the person, and I also don't get this. A month ago, Kamala Harris was the least qualified person to run as a presidency, and we were looking for anybody other than Kamala Harris. And then all of a sudden, Kamala Harris is the person, and we have to just blindly accept it that she is somehow good.
You have also been quite critical of Vice President Biden's policies on race, specifically on the issue of busing in the 1970s, having benefited from busing when you were a young child.
And just to give frame of reference, this is back when she and Joe Biden were running against each other, not with each other, against each other, and he literally called her a DEI hire.
Vice President Biden says that your current position on busing, you're opposed to federally mandated busing, that position is the same as his position. Is he right?
That is simply false. And let's be very clear about this. When Vice President Biden was in the United States Senate working with segregationists to oppose busing, which was the vehicle by which we would integrate America's public schools, had I been in the United States Senate at that time, I would have been completely on the other side of the aisle. And let's be clear about this. Had those segregationists their way, I would not be a member of the United States Senate, Cory Booker would not be a member of the United States Senate, and Barack Obama would not have been in a position to nominate him to the title he now holds. And so on that issue, we could not be more apart, which is that the Vice President has still failed to acknowledge that it was wrong to take the position that he took at that time. Now, I would like to also talk about this conversation about Eric Garner, because I, too, met with his mother. And one of the things that we've got to be clear about is that this President of the United States, Donald Trump, while he has been in office, has quietly been allowing the United States Department of Justice to shut down consent decrees, to stop pattern and practice investigations. On that case, we also know that the Civil Rights Division, this is important, the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice said charges should have been filed, but
I gotta say what I gotta say.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state
You know
of
the rule.
California,
Whenever we talk
there were
politics,
two
we
of the most
gotta break
segregated
down the
school
beef stick.
districts in the country. In
There shall
Los
be no
Angeles
hate.
and in San
We
Francisco.
hear everybody for what they
And
have
she
to say.
did not, I didn't see a
We do not
single
judge
solitary
anybody
time she
for what
brought a
they have
case
to
against
say.
them to
We
desegregate them.
purely
Secondly,
listen.
she also is in a situation where
Not
she
to
had a
respond,
police
but to try to
department when she was
understand
there that in fact
where they're
was
coming from.
abused, that you in fact have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information that would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Vice President Biden. And Senator Harris, your response.
Hold on, what was that?
California. I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice
did
system.
Something that did not give you information that would exculpate your. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said 1,000 of these people.
Yeah,
If you
here it
doubt
is.
me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you.
Go back here. Go to Grok. Can you tell me what 1,000 prisoners by Kamala Harris means? Boy, here we go again with the 1,000 prisoners freed Kamala Harris saga. So let's break it down like a dance at Fortnite. Back to back with this. The whole thing stems from a debate between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris during the 2020 Democratic Party. Biden claimed that Harris had a role in keeping prisoners locked up when she was district attorney of San Francisco, and that she didn't disclose exculpatory evidence to defense attorneys. He said, "If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed Kamala Harris." On prisoners in 2010, the scandal broke out that a technician was caught stealing drug evidence for personal use. This led to the dismissal of dropping about 1,000 drug cases. Kamala Harris's role in this. She was the district attorney at the time, but she wasn't directly involved in the lab scandal. Her office did, however, have to deal with the fallout. Some critics argue that her office should have disclosed this issue to the defense attorney sooner. If you actually Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris, you'll find a bunch of articles discussing controversy, but they warned searches might make your head spin faster than a fidget spinner on high caffeine. I mean, there you have it. Okay, cool.
That is simply not true. And as Attorney General of California, where I ran the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice, I am proud of the work we did, work that has received national recognition for what has been the important work of reforming a criminal justice system and cleaning up the consequences of the bills that you passed when you were in the United States Senate for decades. It was the work of creating one of the first in the nation initiatives around re-entering former offenders and getting them jobs and counseling.
Thank you, Senator.
I did the work as Attorney General of putting body cameras on special agents in the state of California.
Every time that he has said, okay, Senator, and it's her time to stop, she has gone on. Everybody else wraps it up within 60 seconds.
I'm proud of that work.
I want to bring in Congresswoman Gabbard. Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system.
Before she goes on with this, I'm going to go ahead and say I am biased when it comes to this. If I had a perfect world, I can have a magic wand and someone could be our president, I legitimately would have this woman with Jocko Willink, president or vice president. However the combo wound up happening, truly I don't care. But a combo of Tulsi Gabbard with Jocko Willink, I think is exactly the kind of leadership that America needs at the moment. Will that ever happen? Probably not. But just stating that out there, I'm going to be biased and lean towards this side of the screen.
That is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have...
Instantly. She just stopped. She's like, okay, I said what I had to say.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people.
So did you reform it by using people as like cheap slave labor?
Which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches.
So she's proud of everything that Tulsi just said?
Or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform.
Wait, hold on. Is she admitting that she had the power and that she's the one who ultimately did hold these people past their sentencing, withhold evidence, use people as cheap labor in the state of California, and she's proud of this and thinks that this should be a reform that is seen across the nation? Am I missing something here?
That is why we created initiatives that were about re-entering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize.
Your time is up once more. She won't stop. She does not respect the rules and what is set. This is my biggest issue. If you're going into this debate and everyone is supposed to have a allotted amount of time, you respect that. You don't think, okay, everybody else has 5 minutes. Has however long I need to say. You need to stop.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. Your response,
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
Okay.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty, and that has never changed. And I dare anybody who is in a position to make that decision, to face the people I have faced, to say, I will not seek the death penalty.
Okay, so once more, she's not saying no to anything Tulsi is saying. She's just saying, be in my position and see how you would handle it. I am proud of the work I've done. You withheld evidence, used labor, prison as labor, like cheap labor. You withheld people who could have got out of death row. You didn't get them out of death row, so it's not like you could turn around and say, just kidding, it's death row.
To decide whether or not to seek a death penalty on cases I prosecuted. I made a very difficult decision that was not popular to not seek the death penalty. History shows that, and I am proud of those decisions.
Senator Harris, thank you very much. Senator Bennett, a question for you. Why are you the best candidate to heal the racial divide that exists in this country today? Which is
Yeah, no one gives a fuck, brother. Sorry. You were not in this video for that. This was just completely about the Tulsi aspect of it. But I guess what we did come here for originally was just this. So Kamala Harris got caught wearing the $62,000 necklace while asking for donations. So it's just, I mean, this is not just her, it's all politicians, I will say that. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't think this is a good idea. I think if we would look back at history, like recent history, like, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, nobody would have said that we would want her as a president. But now it's just, once more, it's not even to make America good or to make America in a better like trajectory, like try to fix it and all our problems. It's just to be Trump. And to me, it's like, that's so short-sighted. Hey, live on X, what's up? Nice.
I gotta see if I can graphics driver up there.
She got a dope. He has 142 viewers or viewers. It's like views or viewers the same thing. It's kind of crazy, right?
I gotta do a driver update real quick. Eating wieners 10 minutes into the stream. Who's eating wieners? You are?
I wish I was.
What the what? Hold on, whoa.
I would fuck a spider dog up right now.
The fuck?
Over a
Got it.
That sounds what? Weird. Y'all Canadians are weird, bro. That sounds like a commie snack right there. That sounds like a commie ass snack right there, bro. L Rod, man, appreciate that follow. Welcome to the Booze Crew, baby. Yeah.
That's
Fucking wild, bro. Splitting the ends of a hot dog. Who the fuck does that?
It sounds like an Australian thing.
I'm gonna post a photo in one of the channels.
That might not actually work.
It's so funny.
Are you? There's no way. Bro, I don't see a hot dog ever being that good. Like, no way you can make a hot dog that good. Where'd you post it at? Your choice of words are just terrible right now.
Yeah.
The hot dog is coming. Bro, that looks
Spider dog.
foul as no, that looks foul as
no.
fuck. What is that? How do you even eat that? Do you put it in a bun?
No, you just fucking rip
That's,
What the fuck? We eat hot dogs as normal over here in America.
yeah.
I mean, I also do that, but not like no vanilla. Like I like my hot dogs, you know, like mixed up.
Dude, what the fuck? Corn dog. That's the only more mixed up I'm getting.
Hot dog soup?
You say hot dog soup?
Wait.
We made it in Finland, and I had it, and it's
Yeah.
What the bro? That's like, yo. Okay, don't even say you like hot dog water. If you, my God, that's it. I'm gonna throw up. I'm throwing up. No, that's fucking foul.
Here. Boom.
But my experience has been very good, and I think that collectively the experience for many people is probably pretty good. That's why the app has relatively high ratings.
Twitter avatar was the cover of Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged because he, quote, likes architecture. But everyone knows that's not what people read Ayn Rand for. That's like watching The Sopranos.
Watching porn for the plot, yeah.
Because you like pasta. At the same event as the pimp quote, about 2 years after the launch of Uber, Kalanick made their goal clear.
I really hope
to
this guy doesn't
dominate
dress
and
like
replace
this.
Public
IRL.
and shared transportation.
Uber would not be where it is today if it weren't for a very special entity, the SFMTA.
That's the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency. Uber started as an SF exclusive, providing black cars that cost around 1.5 times a normal cab.
Yeah.
In the next few years, Uber saw a ton of investment from venture capital funds and traditional investors. This huge influx of cash allowed them to do a simple trick: make Uber rides really cheap. Do you remember that, when an Uber was cheaper than a cab? The cheap cars let Uber dominate the market. Drivers from small taxi companies started Ubering because it's where all customers were, and at the time, the wages were good. Riders started defaulting to Uber rather than trying to hail a cab or even take public transit. And
Because of the ease of access. It's again, like it's actually such an easy thing to understand. This is the problem that a lot of people don't understand with, like, why are people doing this? Why are people okay with this? It's very simple. It's because the service and the product is very good. And from the consumer perspective, like the individual consumer perspective, you're not thinking about the market. You're not thinking about how this affects an industry. You're thinking about, what does this person do when they open the app? That experience is S tier.
everyone had the app on their phone.
Hold up. something just came up. This is no good for those who are in the Destiny world. Bungie veterans Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy reportedly let go in recent layoffs. Luke Smith, this is like the man behind Destiny, right? In a newly surfaced report, Bungie has parted ways with two of its most notable veterans, Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy, as part of a company-wide layoff that affected 17% of its staff on Wednesday. God bless, that's just so many people. Smith and Noseworthy, who
on air,
is actually alive. Okay, so we could tune into this afterwards. But related to Destiny 2 leaks, 2 DLCs, 2 seasons per. So this is another article. Here it is. Okay, Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy are no longer at Bungie. Group said they were let go. They are no longer at Bungie. Payback is on the shelf, and this was supposedly going to be Destiny 3. Except, spoiler alert, it was never going to be Destiny 3 because apparently that was never a project in the works. Which, if you're in the Destiny world, let me know down below how that makes you feel. I'm kind of, I agree with the side of Cross on this, where if they did do Destiny 3, unless it's just so much better than Destiny 2, you're going to split the player base, even if it's only, like 70-30, 70% of the new game, you're still missing 30% that are still in the old game, and now you have to fund Destiny 2 for 30% of a player base, and it's just going to cause a lot of money just being bled. So the strategy now is to let's take Destiny 2, and we're going to make smaller experience packs that are 6 months instead of the annual expansion packs that we've done before. So instead of annual releases, now we're looking at 6 months with 17% less staff and no leadership. Sounds like a recipe for success. There'll be smaller experience packs going forward, and the whole idea is let's spend less to make less so that we can have Destiny 2 cost less, and then maybe make enough money to make more sense going forward. So this is right there. If Destiny 2 doesn't turn around or something doesn't drastically happen, it's sinking. The final shape may be the final shape. In the meantime, we're going to keep working on Marathon and Frontiers is the name for the current strategy shifting phase to a 2-year experience pack thing. That's really reassuring. We're shifting these to a 2-year experience pack thing. Solid. They're going to do Frontiers and they're going to do Marathon. And if they do both, if both things work out, then we'll revisit the future of Destiny. Will be at that point. So Destiny is basically on hold. Holy crap.
Yeah, that game was a bit of a bummer, and like people had high hopes though, so I don't think you were wrong to think that, Jeff.
Damn. Hey, look, Penguins are still good.
They're like music stuff.
No.
That's fine.
It's more so just like music or movies,
shows, comics, obviously,
Yeah.
like, stuff like that. Like the whole back wall of the convention is like just artists, like independent artists that do shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool. I'm really glad
Play
that
the
I got
video.
to see
Let me
it.
see what it's like. What's the vibe of this?
Yeah, I mean, if you've never been, it's like, dude, you walk into this hall and you're like, holy shit.
No, you don't understand how big this fucking place was.
Massive. It's like a convention. I mean, imagine like an event, but in that whole hall, it's just people to people. With But I will say, some of the smells in that place were fucking crazy. You'll just be walking and you'll just smell pee. And you're like, what the fuck? Did somebody piss?
Somebody sneezed.
Dude, no bullshit.
Did it smell like BO?
Huh?
Did it smell like BO?
No, it wasn't a smell like that. Like, you'd get like random whiffs of like really bad smells.
Bless you.
And then it would be fine. Yeah, it was crazy.
Bless you.
You know, there's some people there who just don't have
You gotta
hygiene.
think about the fact that I missed it. I missed it.
That could have been you.
That could have been me fucking all day. God
Turn
damn
the
it.
exposure down. Take a picture in front of it.
Oh, that's holy shit.
That's our booth.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's where we were. Literally
one?
right there.
Right there.
On the
Oh, that
left.
one there?
That's where we were. What the fuck? That's actually crazy.
I would like to
Ooh, y'all
make
were
like
getting
I think
drinks?
that one
Nice.
we announced it the day up, right? There was no lead up announcement that Seth Hitch and I were gonna be, hanging out with
Yeah, it
people
was
in the
more-
morning of.
Y'all would have shut that shit down if there was.
No, it was actually, bro. That to me that the meet and greet was perfect because it. We did what we had to do. Took pictures. It was a cool hangout. Yeah, but it was like a quick thing too. So it got us. It gave us a chance to explore the place, which otherwise we wouldn't have had time to. And like I said, I bought a bunch of shit from
You know
my.
where he's from?
No.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I've never seen that. Is that a show or a movie?
I mean, it's a
Mr.
game, but they
Beast.
made it a movie.
They had a Mr.